Just thinking that you can possibly take all of your regretful purchases and pile them up and turn them into one really good purchasing decision that was maybe a little bit more pricey, isn't that completely worth it? I like watching videos where people share what they bought and why they made those purchasing decisions. But because hauls aren't really my thing and I prefer a much slower take on shopping and making those decisions, I thought I'd make this video a slow haul type of video where I share some purchases that I've made over a couple of months, or actually within this calendar year, and explain to you why I bought them, because I thought that if I share those ideas, you might include some of these same considerations in the next purchases you are going to make. I've had these Rockstud sandals on my wish list for a very long time. I think close to 4 years now. And back in 2019, I bought a dupe for them. I really do like them and I've worn them quite a bit, but they're not as well made or as comfortable as a designer type of shoe, or not necessarily designer, but rather someone who intentionally makes shoes to really fit the foot well. And although I like them and I will continue to wear them, I still had my heart on the official Rockstud sandal. But they are truly expensive and I am not ready to make such a heavy investment into these sandals. So, still thinking that they are too expensive, I decided to go for a second-hand pair which someone sold on eBay. And I'm very happy that I made that purchasing decision instead of buying something really expensive that is brand new. A few things that I noted: it already had a small scuff mark just above, I suppose, the big toe. And I realized, okay, that is something that is probably going to happen with most sandals when wearing them for an extended period of time. And I'd rather want to see the scuff mark now instead of buying something brand new and then, you know, having that scuff happen and it's just gonna break your heart. So knowing that it's already there kind of like made me feel not afraid of wearing them, if it makes any sense, and not saving them for the best of days, but just really getting the maximum amount of wear out of them. They were in a color that I really liked and that works with my wardrobe. The metallic on them probably leans slightly more gold than silver, but they're not too gold, because I don't like, you know, too gold accessories on, or any type of detailing on my clothing, and I rather prefer silver, but also not in excess. But because they're down by my feet and not right up on my face, and it is not gold, but like more of a silver gold, something in between, I was very happy with them and I got so much wear out of them, and it's making me feel much more comfortable investing in something similar again, although I think the price point is still pretty steep for a brand new pair of these Rockstud sandals. If I wanted to buy something, you know, in say a block heel, so same kind of range but a different style, I will definitely consider doing that again on platforms such as eBay. Onto handbags. I've had this small Burberry clutch for also 4 years. A lot of things happened in the last 4 years, I suppose, and I've absolutely loved this bag. I've worn it actually too much, to be honest, and it got quite a bit of wear and tear, but again, I'd rather wear the things that I have instead of saving them for a, you know, a special day and then end up not wearing them at all. Another thing that happened is I think I packed the bag with too many and heavy items, probably overstuffing it a little bit, and I think the weight of the bag was too much for the straps and they broke a couple of times. I spoke about it in a repair video that I made. And lesson learned, clutches are not made for throwing all the heavy things that you own into it, but rather just a few items. So I made the decision to continue wearing this bag, but only as a clutch now. And for that reason, I needed a lighter colored bag that is more practical for summer days, with enough space. And there's a few things that I took into consideration before making a purchasing decision. First of all, I mentioned that I wanted it to be light. Second, if it's got any hardware on it, I rather want the hardware to be less instead of more. And if it's got hardware, metallic hardware, I want it to lean to the silver side instead of the gold side. Also, I don't want a bag that is completely oversized, so I actually still want to kind of limit myself with the amount of things that I can pack in there, so that I can easily wear it and it doesn't become too heavy. I'm quite sensitive to very heavy bags. And then the last thing is to at least have the option of wearing it crossbody, because that is how I prefer wearing my bags. But I do want to get into kind of testing the waters with top handles and things like that. So this was the perfect combination between the top handle, having that option, and then the crossbody. I've mostly worn a top handle, and I must say it is definitely not completely hands-free, of course, but having that option for a quick crossbody helps out quite a bit. I bought a few bags, or actually only one coming to think of it now. I suppose there are more, but I returned all of them because I was just not happy with the way that they look. And I really want to stress this point, like sometimes when you buy something, just because it's brand new and in the box, you have this excitement feeling around it. Don't quickly just start wearing it. Really try it on, make sure it works with what you have and that it's actually going to work well, because if I kept the previous one, I would have been unhappy and I would probably end up not wearing it all that much. So when I finally got this one, it just ticked all the boxes. It felt right, and it definitely is right. I've worn it a lot already, and it's an absolutely great bag and brand. I'll have it linked down below. Let's talk sunglasses. I've had one pair of sunglasses for a very long time. I've had this since 2016, I think it is. And this is the only pair that I've worn since 2016. I love it for a couple of reasons and will continue to wear it. Again, we have like a little bit of silver hardware instead of gold. I love the fact that it's tortoiseshell. The lenses have a slight bluish tint to them, which is quite unusual, like a brown blue tint, and that really works very well with my personal coloring, so I really like that. And I just wanted a new style, really, but I already knew a few things going in. I've mentioned hardware a couple of times, so I don't have to go into that again, but you'll be surprised how much gold is available on the market, but not really a lot of silver. And although I didn't want, if I could go even completely without, I would have been fine with that, but just having the small 3 dots in silver was perfectly fine. And I also wanted a high quality pair of sunglasses, so something that is really going to last a very long time, something that I can easily take in to be repaired if necessary. And then also I wanted to try out polarized sunglasses for a very first time, and I've had so much joy wearing them. I would highly advise doing that as well. But before I bought these, I tried on so many over a few years really. So every time I tried on a pair, I took a photo to kind of remind myself of how I looked in it, and that I have some reference to go back onto and really get a feel for what I like. And especially like I've mentioned, like in the moment sometimes you get so excited, but if you have some perspective and you look back on that photo, it's much easier to say that would not have worked, like I actually don't like that, or doesn't suit me that well. So giving yourself some perspective really helps out a lot to make a worthwhile purchasing decision. With regards to color, I knew I didn't want a black pair. Black is a too stark difference with my personal coloring to wear like right up by my face, and I rather wanted something in a tortoiseshell, and preferably something a little bit more cool leaning instead of warm. I suppose this is more of a neutral one, but I'm still happy with it. And then of course, having a flattering shape for your face is very important when buying sunglasses, and that's also why I would say go out, try on a couple of pairs, take some photos, take them back home, and if you really do like a pair, make sure to take a photo of the serial number or the brand, make a note of the name so that you can at least go back and buy them if you wanted to. And then lastly, this is something that I mentioned in my repairs video. I was thinking of repairing an old pair of loafers that I've had repaired probably 3 times already. I've had them for a really long time, since 2016, and decided not to repair them again because they are just worn out. So I've been on the hunt for a new pair of high quality leather loafers, and I finally found this brand, GH Bass, and I am very impressed with them. They made the original penny loafer. It's quite a cute little history that you can go read up about, and I decided to buy one of their pairs, and I've been loving it. It's really well made. It's got some stitching at the bottom, so you can even have the entire sole removed, and the stitching helps kind of the entire process of really stitching a sole back on instead of like gluing a rubber sole to the bottom. So I'm happy with my loafers. The majority of the things I buy, I spend a lot of time thinking about before I actually buy it, and I plan how I'm actually going to style it, wear it, and if it's really going to work within my life and within the things that I have. I really hate it when I buy something and it goes unworn. It's almost like a reminder in my closet that I failed at that purchasing decision, and I also think it is truly wasteful. That is it from me today. I really hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that some of the explanations can help you out in the future if you want to make a purchasing decision and you don't want to be regretful afterwards. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you next week. Bye.